You may already know that there's a connection between stress and inflammation. As you experience stress, stress can cause inflammation to your body, which can then have many different effects on you, negative effects, I might add, physically, psychologically, and even emotionally. And it doesn't take much for it to become a vicious cycle where one is fueling the other. So let's consider this. If you are stressed, you are feeling stress in your body, you are feeling stress emotionally and psychologically, that can have inflammatory effects on your body. When your body is exposed to inflammation, when your body is experiencing inflammation, that can in turn affect your health, your physical health. You may feel pain, you may feel discomfort, and long term, there can be damaging effects of inflammation. That's why doctors are often talking about how important it is to minimize inflammation in our bodies and to keep it down as much as possible. When our bodies are indeed experiencing inflammation, that can lead to physical pain or discomfort, which can then stress you out even more. So you can see how there is this potential loop, this connection between stress and inflammation that can cause one to fuel the other and perpetuate the cycle, make it more difficult to decrease both. This is why it's so important to address stress on a regular basis, on a daily basis, preferably more than once a day if possible, but at the very least, once a day. So rather than being victim to this disempowering loop of stress, which leads to inflammation, which could lead, for example, to mood changes, sleep disruptions, physical discomfort, which will then lead to more stress, which will then lead to more inflammation. You can see how disempowering that is and how unpleasant that is. Let's talk about how we can empower ourselves. How can you empower yourself in a way that's easy and simple and yet very effective? Let's talk about some very simple things that you can do daily. Do these every single day, and whether you spread them out throughout the day at specific times, or you also utilize these things in response to a stressful situation, some kind of stressor that you encounter that wasn't planned. However it works best for you. The most important thing is that you take care of yourself and work on reducing the stress in your life every single day. The first thing that I will recommend to you is a simple deep breathing exercise. This is something that you can do for 1 or 2 minutes at a time. It can be very effective. It can lower the stress hormones in your body. It can lower the tension in your body. It's a very easy yet very effective practice to include in your daily experience. Again, it's as simple as slow, deep breathing for 1 to 2 minutes. Very easy. Most people can do that. How about taking 2 to 3 minutes to engage your body in some gentle mobility exercises? This could be as simple as doing some gentle stretches, or maybe some gentle rotations of maybe your wrists if you have a lot of stress in your wrists, or some gentle rotation or gentle movements in your shoulders or your neck or your hips. Whatever is safe and gentle. Remember, that's the key, safe and gentle. And you may want to clear this with your medical provider just to make sure that you're good to go with these kinds of practices. But most people will be able to do that. Gentle stretches, gentle rotations and movements to engage the body in movement in such a way that's gentle, beneficial, and relaxing. The other thing that I want to encourage you to focus on every single day is proper hydration. You may already walk around with a bottle at your side for most or the entire day, but how much of that water do you drink? So I encourage you to be mindful that you do get proper hydration. But there's an extra step or another part that I would like to add on to that. As you are making an effort, a conscious decision to be well hydrated, make sure that when you are taking a drink of your water, and I encourage you to stick with water, give yourself permission to make that water break into a relaxation break. Don't just guzzle water and move on as quickly as possible, or sip water mindlessly as you're doing a number of other things at the same time. Make it a point to actually have a few events throughout the day when you're doing more than just sipping water while you're doing many other things. Stop just to drink the water. Make it a 1-minute break. Ideally, you will allow yourself to have several of these throughout the day where you go beyond simply drinking or sipping water mindlessly, but rather you stop everything you're doing and the only thing you do is enjoy some water and take a 1-minute break while you do that. That doesn't mean that you stop drinking water all the other times. If you drink water on the go, still do it. If you sip water as you're doing many other things, still do that. But incorporate into your day multiple 1-minute breaks where you just pause and have some water while relaxing for 1 minute. Not only do you hydrate your body, you also allow yourself to relax and minimize or decrease the effects of stress in your life. These are some very simple daily practices that I encourage you to incorporate into your everyday life. These really add up, especially when you incorporate all of them and make sure that all of them have a place somewhere in your daily schedule. The effects can really add up. Something else that I encourage you to do as a general good practice for stress management, effective stress management, is focusing on what you put into your body. Pay attention to the quality and the amount of food that you put into your body. Focus on eating the rainbow. Many of you have probably heard this expression for many years now. That means filling your plate with colorful fruits and vegetables. That does not mean eating Skittles or other colorful foods, processed foods, or candies. This means whole foods, fruits and vegetables. Aim for adding those into your diet or maximizing those into your diet so that you can feed your body nutritious foods that can help you to be strong, healthy, and resilient. That is a critical part of effective stress management. eating fast food, eating junk food, eating too much sugar, too much caffeine, too much processed food can simply add to your stress. It can wear your body down and make you less capable of effectively fighting stress and its effects on you. So take care of your body with the very basics, such as food and nutrition. The other part of taking care of your body is proper sleep. Make sure you're getting enough sleep. Having a sleep routine or a wind down routine, an evening routine, can be key to achieving this proper rest that so many lack nowadays. Your routine can be as simple as maybe taking a shower or washing your face or brushing your teeth as a cue that you're starting to get ready for bed. That could also include turning off all the screens that could be overstimulating, that could keep you up at night. Put away your phone, your tablet, your computer screens, your TVs a certain time before bedtime. An hour, 2 hours, that would be great. You may want to start turning down the lights in your house, in your home, as a cue to your body that it's time to start winding down. Some people like to adjust the temperature in their home before they go to bed. This is something that you may incorporate into your nightly routine as a way to signal your body that it's time to start winding down and prepare for sleep. Consider coming up with a routine of 2 or 3 different steps and aim to do it every single night. Remember, what we're looking for here is improvement of where you are rather than perfection. Any improvement of where you are today is likely to benefit you, but struggling to achieve perfection may backfire. So focus on improvement. Try to do better today than you did yesterday. Consider implementing some of these practices that I mentioned in this episode and make a point of noting or writing down how you're doing before you start these practices and how you're doing after a week, after 2 weeks, after 30 days, and see what works for you, where you can change things up or improve. Anything that will help you to reduce stress, reduce the inflammation that is affecting you, and essentially minimize or break up that stress inflammation cycle. After all, any steps that you take to reduce stress and improve your health will help you in achieving a better, more effective stress management. If you'd like to learn more about a comprehensive approach to stress management, check out the links below.